everybody, welcome to the channel for new battle report. So back with my picture. My nose is looking better, as you can see. Feeling better as well. I hope you're doing well and you are healthy. It's the most important in life. I think those kind of small operations are a good reminder that health is something you have, but you should take care of. So yeah, happy to feel better. I hope you are feeling well as well. Let's move on to the battle report. It's another game of version 3.0. I played against a French player called Jogging, who was playing a Warrior of the Dark Gods. This was the list I tried this time. I have a Vizier on the Bull of Shamut to have a small character, quite cheap, who can be annoying on the weak flank. Then I kept the Master of Alchemy in my list. I wanted to give another try. Cheap BSB. Then we have the Lamasu Scholar as a second magician who should help to get some more combat buff and also some more channel. In core I went with full shooting this time, 20 flintlock, 20 blunderbuss with the Bastion. I wanted to give a go at the Bastion. I kept the 2 units of Incarnate, but I took out the Kadim Titan to fit the Bastion. I kept the Enforcer and I was able to add Vassal Cavalry as a token provider, incendiary token provider, but also as a piece of chaff that is maybe more flexible than the Slave. My opponent was playing straightforward list, we could say. So you have 3 brick, warrior, chosen, all on foot, a small unit of barbarian, horseman in core, and then he has some single model, so 1 giant, 1 exalted herald, 1 wasteland behemoth with a chieftain on it, a battle shrine as well, and then the Helmo to be able to give some speed and maneuverability to the infantry unit. We were playing second target, the 2 points. We made one mistake. We'll have another battle report coming up also on this secondary objective to show you better. But actually, the way it works, according to my understanding, is 1 point is here, 24 away from the side of the map, and the other one the same. And you don't have actually something to do to place it more to the left or more to the right. It's actually fixed. So that's the way we should have played it. We didn't do it this way. We were able to place it like we wanted, but from 24 up to the side, so it's a bit more to the side as it should have been. So that was our mistake. I got Enslave and Ransom as a secondary objective, so I need to kill like 3 units in close combat or break them from combat. And he had Declare Superiority. He had to kill my most expensive unit. And we played Spearhead, which is the one with the 3/3 and 1/3 you can Vanguard 3 inches basically. And below you have the spell selection. Worth mentioning for him, really straightforward. He has like 2 buffs, 3 blast. He's going to 5 dice, both Gravecall each turn basically. So that's the way it can work now in version 3.0. So something new. Matchup analysis quickly. Yeah, it's a mobile and avoidance Warrior of the Dark God army with Helmo. And independent threat, he can choose whether or not he wants to engage or focus on the secondary or the primary objective. I think here primary, worth mentioning, he has 2 expensive scoring units. So basically he could very well teleport 1 close to 1 point to tie with my most expensive scoring unit, and on the other point just have the other unit, and that would be enough for him to win the primary most likely, because I have only 1 unit that is 550 or more. So I think that's obviously an issue here for me. Complicated to zone and block him. We misunderstood the way new ambush works, and I think the most important learning of this battle report for you will be how does the new ambush rule work, and I will show you that in detail in this battle report. Alchemy and shooting, I was expecting to do some wounds on the chosen. An estimation, I felt due to the primary it's slightly negative for me because he should be able to win it. Deployment wise, I picked the side, gave him the impossible, he dropped everything for first turn. We have from left to right, Giant, Exalted Herald, first unit of Chosen, in the middle the Behemoth, next to him is the Battle Shrine, a bit behind we have the Helmo, in front of them the unit of 10 Chosen, and on the far right he had a unit of Warrior and Horseman. Worth mentioning, due to the Spearhead, you can already see the unit that were able to Vanguard were on my left flank. Basically, I gave myself the opportunity to make a strong left. I place my secondary objective here and his here. Like I said, due to the rule, it should have been like this and like this. Sorry, it's hard to draw when you are moving on a treadmill at the same time, but trying to do both. Anyway, so yeah, we made a small mistake here. The positioning shouldn't have been exactly this way, but that's how we did it. I'm not sure if I placed left or he placed right. I don't remember who did what, but anyway, he dropped for first turn. My counter deployment, I decided to focus on the right due to the impassable to make his rush harder, and I can use the wall as a very good protector for my infantry. So I place one Kadim unit on each side of the bastion, the Lamassu in the back, the cavalry behind, and on the far right, this is his secondary objective. Place them all the way to the right to basically close the flank and make very hard for him to get them. So it's going to be really hard for him to kill them and make his secondary objective. And on my weak flank, I just place a scoring unit. In case he does a mistake, I can go for this objective and the vizier to be annoying and move around basically to waste him time. That's it. His turn 1, he pushes toward me, zone my left flank, so quite happy with that. The rest didn't move much. Magic Face, it's a 5 dice to 4. The 5 dice Grave Call, go through my dice and manage to do 4 wounds to the Incarnate. Ancient Ruin in the middle, also worth mentioning. He got the magical resistance 2 on the behemoths for the rest of the battle, which is the bad news for my alchemy mage, obviously. And he also got Will and Woe as a bound spell on this model, so it was definitely worth it to explore the Ancient Ruin as soon as possible. My turn 1, I push around to form a kind of a battle line here. Those guys also push the flank. You can see here his gate, so I'm trying to zone them more or less. Magic Phase, I failed the small Molten Copper and he dispelled the Quicksilver Lash, so I do 0 wound on the first turn, which is bad. His turn 2. Yeah, he shows me that's going to play a bit more avoidance and try to go for the secondary basically. So he turned around the warrior, they're going to be teleported this part of the map. So basically I'm not going to see them. And as you can see, my army is pretty slow. He has some single models, so it's going to be hard to really push and catch him with the Chosen and the single model zoning me. Yeah, it's not an easy match. I don't have a lot of things I can do here. I get Hereditary, managed to 2 wounds on the Torque Enforcer who passed the panic check on a 9. And then Gravecold got dispelled 5 dice against 5. You can see his ambush move. My turn number 2, move around on the left, really trying with these 2 units to just waste him time. I'm not going to get the secondary, but I want to avoid giving him point and just moving around while I start to push a bit on the right. So continue to push a bit on the right. In the Magic Phase, get the small, the Molten Copper, who does 3 wounds to the Chosen. He dispelled the big one. I got also Flaming Sword on the Bastion. With the Bastion shot, 20 shots on 5+, and then 3+. I do only 1 wound on the Battle Shrine, so that was a bit disappointing. His turn 3, he moves back with the single model in the middle. Yeah, he forms a battle line that I need to respect here. A lot of units. He has this unit that can be used easily as chaff because he plays here. He has a token, so he can at any time move in front of me. He moves a bit forward with the Herald, but continue to zone me with his model that I cannot escape line of sight, which makes sense. Barbarian move out of the way, and they are going to pop in front of the Bastion to slow me down and tempt me to charge and try to make a trap. In case I would charge, he could flee, I could catch him, and then he could potentially combo charge me with 4 units, so that's very dangerous for me. And the Magic Phase, I failed the Grave Call, I dispel the second Grave Call, and Hereditary kill my Enforcer, so he took some point here. Enforcers are dead, so that's something he got here. My turn 3, as you can see, that's where he ambushed. I didn't take the bait and charge, I'm just going to shoot him. I moved the flintlock forward. The Vizier stays in the left flank to just continue to waste his time and stall his advance. Incarnate, cover the angles so that the Exalted Earl cannot move out, and my shooting is in place. I think something I forgot and I should have used way more effectively is on turn 2 and 3, where 2 good opportunities for the Incarnate to ambush somewhere here with Mist, the spell Mist. I could have used that. I think that could have been a very good ambush to put some threat to the flank. So that's something I should have considered turn 2 already. 5 dice, Mist. I think that could have been very, very good for me to try to get the Elmo and maybe the Chosen, get some points. Something I didn't consider. I was too focused on doing damage with Alchemy and I didn't do much. I got Molten Copper, do 2 wounds on the Chosen, he dispelled the big one, Hereditary Phase on 2 dice, the Bastion managed to do 4 wounds to his cavalry, he passes the panic check, and then I put a token on the Chosen, so I have a Flaming token on him, Flaming token on the Chosen as well, to just make him harder to move forward, because then a charge from the Academy Incarnate would be way too dangerous. He's turn 4, yeah, got you to move back, just block me, chaff me, move around with the a bit more aggressive now with Exalted World, and basically he's just going to try to create something for the secondary, so he moved the Elmo close to me. Like I said, if I would have had the Incarnate in this zone, not possible, and then he's able to place a marker here to try to basically jump out on turn 5 or 6 and just contest the secondary objective. I think it's still possible. I'm just thinking with the ambush rule, if there isn't something like if we ambush turn 5 or 6, you are not scoring anymore. I don't know if that exists anymore or not. I would need to check. But in this game we saw that he could score. So that was his game plan basically. Turn number 4 in magic phase, what happens? Got Hereditary, did 2 wounds to my Vizier on the 3 up 5 up with AP 0. Yeah, that was a good job done from Hereditary. Gravecall managed to do 4 wounds on my Bastion, I guess. And that's about it. My turn. Yeah, I try to, you can see that's his marker here. So I'm trying to attempt to block everything I can. So those guys can charge past. Those guys blocking in the front. So I'm trying to make a very complicated positioning to counter this entrance. But basically what I should have done is each point, like Helmo point, the rule says that you need to place a point within 1.5 from the gate without being obscured, and I think that's really the key. So I could have obscured the 1.5 inch around the gate, and then he cannot move out. I didn't know that at the time, but basically if that's obscured, this 1.5, then he cannot ambush, and that would have been easier to just block that with the flintlock. So I didn't know that. That's something to keep in mind. Magic phase. Got the big one on the Chosen from Alchemy, managed to do 4 wounds. Shooting, I killed the Barbarian with all my shooting, Flintlock and Bastion. His turn number 5, yeah, he just escaped. Those guys are going to jump with the Elmo and end up somewhere here. Worth mentioning also, the Elmo nowadays is much harder to kill. He has 7 wounds, Resilient 7, so whew, not easy to kill. Magic phase, going to get Gravecall 5 dice, get a high roll, kill the Vizier on reroll 2 wounds, yeah, that happened, so I give more point. He moves to 11 to 9 instead of a draw, and then not much will happen for the rest. I'm just going to zone. He gets another marker here, so I'm getting the second unit of Incarnate to zone. But like I said, I could have countered that better with just going on the gate and not leave him a point. And that's how we're going to end up. Yeah, not much to mention. I tried some shot. I ambushed with the mist to try to shoot him a bit more, but that didn't do anything crazy because the Elmo is very resilient now. Ended up 9 to 11 for him. Post-game analysis, yeah, avoidance game, not the most thrilling to show you. I think the only thing really to remember is about the mechanic of the Elmo, how we can block it. I'm going to show you that on the picture just after. He tried to find an opening on the primary, and I countered with my Kadim to make sure that he cannot enter or he would be charged and killed. Like I said, not sure if he would have been scoring on turn number 5. In version 2.0 I would say no. In version 3.0 I'm not sure, and I would need to check. Weak flank unit, I slow him down, but I still ended up killed by his magic. Very good job done from Hereditary especially. No real opportunities to counter push. Yeah, he was too evasive. He was able to escape easily with the Elmo. Effective and straightforward magic from Warhall's Dark God. Basically, it's like 5 dice Gravecall, 2 dice the Bound Spell, 5 dice Gravecall, stuff like that. So quite effective, I felt. Turn 2 and 3, Dwarves, Infernal Dwarf. I should have forced Mist of Invisibility on Incarnate to push to the right. I think that was my option, my best option to create something out of this game. And I didn't think about it. I think especially turn 2, that would have been really great because he still had multiple units block on the top of the map. And that's something I should have considered. Elmo and Ambusher still possible to block it. Here I have a good example. You consider this marker, that's the line of 1.5 around. So if you place a unit of Vassal Cav on it, it's not possible to ambush. And the same goes for the border edge, 1.5. So if you block that area, it cannot ambush. So that's still possible to do. So pay attention to that. If you face ambushes, being Elmo or other stuff, you can still try to block it. Okay guys, that's all for this short battle report. I hope you liked it. Talk to you soon for a more interesting battle. Goodbye.